The world we live in is full of deception, lies, and greed. And unfortunately, in lucrative industries, just like the one that we inhabit, which is trading and investing, these negative character traits that we see are only amplified because the opportunity for charlatans, frauds, fakes to make exorbitant amounts of money very, very quickly are increased. And so, of course, we are going to encounter more scammers, more fakes on a more frequent basis. That's just the nature of the business. Go back only a few years and it was relatively easy to distinguish between legitimate traders and fakes. Why? Because there was a clear line in the sand drawn. The fakes tended to offer signals groups, and made money off of broker affiliate links, which was very, very lucrative and a very, fast way of making a lot of money. And then the more legitimate guys went the slightly, less lucrative route that required a lot more time and effort, which was to offer trading education. But something changed just a few years ago. Regulators began to crack down on brokers offering affiliate marketing schemes to your average, 20-something-year-old guy with fake teeth, a good tan, and a financed Mercedes. And so what this resulted in was guys either moving out to Dubai or Bali or something like that to continue their fake guru, online presence, or making the transition over into the education space. And fortunately for these frauds, when they wanted to come over into the trading education space, it was fairly easy for them to just look at what all these other educators were doing, take little bits and pieces, copy it for themselves, and all of a sudden, they are the fountain of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to trading education. And for 9 out of 10 aspiring traders like yourself, it can be very difficult to be able to spot what's real from what's fake. So it brings about the age-old question: how much do trading educators make from selling education versus how much do they make from actually trading and investing themselves? Now, I can't answer that question for your mentor. I could probably take a pretty good guess, but today we're going to be looking at me. I have been transparent with you guys, as much as I could be since I opened this YouTube channel, and I've built a community here where you guys are literally like my mates. I share absolutely everything with you. And today's video is going to be no exception. Please do note before we get into this, there is a line where being transparent bleeds over into being foolish. I do have a family. I have to respect my family's safety and privacy, and I do have to guard that in a sense, whilst also being transparent with you. So I'm going to show you as much as I possibly can about my personal finances without getting over into dangerous territory effectively where I could be jeopardizing our safety and privacy. Ultimately, please just understand that I'm going to show you as much as I can effectively, but there are going to be a few things I will tell you, look, I'm not comfortable showing you this figure or that figure. I'm certainly not going to show you how much I have in the bank. But as I say, I'm going to try and show you as much as I can. Now, to make this easier, I have 2 main sources of income that this video is concerned with. The first is education, and the second is trading and investing. So let's talk about the education first. If you don't already know this, I started a company called KB Trading back in 2019. If you don't know this, maybe you've been living under a rock for 5 years. Joe Biden's president right now, by the way. Kanye West kind of went off the rails for a bit as well, probably still is. If you've been living under a rock, KB Trading, Kanye West, Joe Biden, you get it. You get the picture. KB Trading's been providing education to the trading space for the best part of 5 years. And in that time, we've become a globally recognized and trusted service provider. We've been invited to speak in industry-leading financial expos and conferences. We've lectured in universities, and we've created hundreds of trading professionals who have managed to, appear number 1 on FTMO's leaderboard, number 3, number 4. We had a guy, Marty, appeared number 8 on FTMO's global leaderboard with an absolutely eye-watering $27,000 made in one day. We have plenty of examples of students taking multi-5-figure payouts from prop firms literally on a monthly basis. I'm going to put some of those on screen for you right now. As I'm sure you can imagine, education that produces these results is not your average £300-400 course that you're going to find online somewhere. We provide a very, very high level of education, which I'll be perfectly honest with you, isn't cheap. You get what you pay for. Something that's cheap is going to give you cheap results. Something that's free is going to give you almost no results. You get what you pay for with the education that we provide. And so it should be no surprise to you that KB Trading generates an annual revenue in the multi-six-figure region. But of course, that's only half the picture. Because KB Trading makes that much money per year, unfortunately does not mean I make that much money. Who would have thought, right? What you can see on screen now is how much KB Trading spent in 2023. You can see that's 1st of January to 31st of December. And in dollars, you're looking at $250,000, probably more, in just expenses out of the business. We have me, managing director. We have business development manager. We have 2 guys who do all of our digital marketing, web developer, web designer, my assistant, she uploads all of my social media posts, 2 guys who handle client onboarding, customer service, and a video editor. So we have a full team, plus insurance, plus taxes, plus accountancy fees, plus software, website hosting, all the rest of it. Running a business is pretty expensive, but how much of that 196k last year went into my pocket personally? I did change bank account halfway through or at the end of Q1 last year, so we are going to have to look at 2 separate bank accounts here, but you can see KB Trading sent me £9,200 from January to April, and then from April to December 26. So in total for the year, KB Trading paid me £35,000. This is what I got paid for running KB Trading 365 days out of 2023. Any hiring that had to be done, any educational content that needs to be filmed, running the Discord every day, sharing my trades, mentoring people. For all of that, 365 days of the year, working, sometimes 10-hour days plus, 35 grand KB Trading paid me. Now, for a managing director, that's an incredibly low income. However, my ethos in business is the less money I take from the business, the more money the business has to hire other people, to develop, to grow, and to ultimately become a better company. I could either take 100k for myself, or I could take 35 and spend that 65 on hiring 2 or 3 other people who are going to help propel that company forward, over the coming years. So that's always been my approach. Now, of course, there are going to be those of you who look at this and say, yeah, but £35,000 is still a lot of money for someone in their early 20s. I wish that were the case. You can see here on screen now is my personal bank account. And again, January, February, and March are missing because I was on another bank account. I would estimate for the year in 2023, that says 41, including January through March, I would estimate somewhere between 50 and 55 grand I spent just living last year. I didn't buy any, car. I didn't buy any crazy furniture. I didn't buy myself anything big for the year. That's just kind of average expenses like, rent, one holiday, eating out, all the rest of it. Just average expenses. I maybe spend 55k a year. On a year where I'm going multiple holidays, I'm buying someone big birthday gifts like a watch or something like that, maybe I get a car, that 55k could quite easily turn into 80k, maybe even more. Over and against £35,000 that KB Trading pays me, you can see it's hardly a drop in the ocean. Already on a quiet year, I'm pretty much spending double what I earn from trading education. So this is, of course, where my trading and investing income comes into the picture. Now, in my trading and investing income, there are 3 categories. So category 1, long-term investments like crypto. Category 2 is my personal trading account. And category 3 is prop firm income. Now, I'm not going to be talking about how much I have in crypto. It's not millions, but it's still a significant enough amount of money that I don't want to disclose it. I can tell you that, just the profits I've taken from crypto, which again, we teach our members to do, The profits I've taken within the past 12 months have been very, very substantial, and I still have, 90% of my holdings within the crypto markets. I still have them running. The second category, which is my personal trading account, I made around 60% last year. I'll put the MyFX book up on the screen now. Back in the day, I used to share with you how much money I had in that trading account. I don't do that anymore. Again, it's not something I feel comfortable doing these days, but I'm sure you can kind of fill in the gaps. The third thing, prop firm income, that's what we're going to be talking about, because you can verify the payout certificates. You can see exactly how much I've made. Now, one thing to note, prop firms were not really a focus of mine until 2023. So it's not like I went into 2023 with a couple million in funding. I went into 2023 with one funded account and had one funded account for the majority of the year. Picked up, an FTMO account, started taking payouts from that in summer 2023. So this prop firm income isn't super substantial because I didn't have most of these accounts for the majority of the year. But that's what we're going to talk about, because to illustrate my point of making more from trading than I do from education, just in prop firms alone, as you're about to find out, it's more than double. So on FX2, I withdrew just under $20,000. On FTMO, just under 50,000. From first class forex funds, 3.7k. From Nova, 3.5. From the forex funder, $2,000. And from Maven, $3,000. If you add all those up, it comes to about 82 or 83k. I think there is income from other prop firms, which probably brings it up closer to 90, but this is all the certificates that I could find. If we look at those figures alone, prop firms on one hand, 82, 83k. Education on the other hand, which is £30,000 after tax, $35k dollars, somewhere around there. You can see from just prop firms alone, I made more than double what I made from education. What I can tell you is if we were to include my personal trading accounts and my crypto investments in that, you are well into the six figures in terms of my income for 2023 from trading and investing. However, because I'm not showing it, you just have to take my word for it on that, or you can just look at my prop firm income versus my trading income, and we can be done with it at that effectively. But anyway guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video for today. I set out to show you how much I make from trading education versus how much I make from trading and investing. And although we couldn't go into all of the minutiae of my trading and investing income, we were able to show enough to show that even if we were just to look at one of those three categories, it's significantly more than my income from education. So having reached that conclusion, that brings me to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.